Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 most overpriced motorcycles with the worst deals right now. Number 12, Harley-Davidson Street 500. The Harley-Davidson Street 500 has quietly become one of the most overpriced motorcycles with the worst deals right now in the United States. What hurts its case is not one flaw, but the gap between price and substance. In today's used market, many listings sit around $8,000, some even creeping past $10,000 once dealer fees are added. That is a serious ask for a motorcycle that was meant to be affordable and easy to step into. The engine tells the real story. The liquid-cooled V-twin looks modern on paper, but on the road it feels underwhelming. Acceleration is mild, highway passing takes planning, and the motor feels stressed when pushed for long periods. Heat buildup in traffic is common, and the exhaust note lacks the depth many riders associate with the brand. Ownership costs make the deal even worse. Dealer labor rates remain high, parts pricing is not forgiving, and insurance savings are smaller than expected. At the same time, resale value has been sliding as demand dries up. Many riders simply skip past it in favor of larger used cruisers that cost similar money but feel far more complete. The Harley-Davidson Street 500 ends up trapped by its own pricing. It asks for premium money while delivering entry-level results. Until prices drop sharply, it stands as one of the clearest examples of a motorcycle that costs too much and gives too little in return. Number 11, BMW R18. The BMW R18 is one of those motorcycles that looks expensive even before the price tag is mentioned, and that is part of the problem. Right now, it stands as one of the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in the American market. Dealers lean heavily on its size, heritage styling, and premium image, yet the actual ownership experience does not justify the money being asked. The engine is an 1800cc boxer twin, and while it delivers strong low-end torque, it also brings clear compromises. The massive cylinders stick out wide, limiting lean angle and making the bike feel bulky at low speeds. Power delivery is smooth but not exciting, and the overall riding feel is heavier than expected. Dollars are where the R18 really loses ground. Most listings hover around $20,000, and some climb even higher once dealer fees are added. At that level, buyers expect flawless refinement, strong performance, and everyday usability. Instead, they get a bike that struggles to justify its cost outside of weekend rides and visual appeal. Overall, the BMW R18 demands premium money for a riding experience that feels limited and situational. And with better balanced options available for far less cash, it clearly earns its place among the worst value deals right now. Number 10, Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R has long carried a reputation for raw muscle, but right now it lands firmly among the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in the market. On paper it looks intimidating, yet in real-world ownership the value simply does not match the asking price. Dealers continue to list it as a premium power cruiser, even though the platform feels dated and the overall riding experience lacks the refinement buyers expect at this level. The engine is a large displacement V-twin that produces strong straight-line pull, but that is where the praise mostly ends. Power comes on hard, yet it feels crude rather than controlled. Throttle response can be abrupt at low speeds, and the bike's heavy weight makes cornering feel slow and awkward. When dollars come into focus, the deal looks even worse. Many examples are still priced around $15,000, sometimes more once freight and setup fees are added. That places the M109R dangerously close to newer, more advanced cruisers that offer better suspension, braking, and overall build quality. Fuel economy is poor, insurance costs are high, and resale value continues to slide, making ownership far more expensive than the sticker price suggests. Overall, the Suzuki Boulevard M109R asks serious money for brute force alone. And in today's market, that narrow appeal and inflated pricing make it one of the weakest value buys for riders looking beyond straight-line power. Number 9, Indian Scout 60. The Indian Scout 60 currently sits among the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in the United States, mainly because its asking price no longer matches what it delivers on the road. Dealers often present it as a premium entry into the Indian lineup, but once the excitement fades, the value equation starts to fall apart. The styling is clean and attractive, yet the overall package feels stripped down for the money being asked, especially when buyers look closely at what is included and what is not. A big part of the problem is how much you are expected to pay for a motorcycle that feels intentionally held back. Features that many riders expect at this price point are missing or feel basic, pushing owners toward costly add-ons just to make the bike feel complete. Dollars make the situation worse. Many Scout 60 listings hover close to $10,000, and once dealer fees, freight, and accessories are added, the out-the-door cost climbs fast. At that level, buyers can find motorcycles that feel more substantial, better equipped, and stronger in long-term ownership value. Overall, the Indian Scout 60 asks for near-premium money while delivering a clearly compromised experience. And right now, that gap between cost and value is exactly why it stands out as one of the weakest deals on the showroom floor. Number 8. Harley-Davidson Pan America. The Harley-Davidson Pan America has generated buzz for being the brand's entry into adventure touring, yet it is firmly listed among the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals right now. Its styling and marketing promise versatility and performance, but the reality is a mixed bag that fails to justify the high price tag. Buyers are drawn to the name and the idea of Harley off-road, but once on the road, compromises in handling, electronics, and ergonomics become obvious, leaving a sense that the bike is asking far more than it delivers. Price is the biggest obstacle. Many Pan America models are listed at around $20,000, and with dealer fees and optional packages, the out-the-door cost climbs even higher. Reliability concerns and a limited dealer network for adventure touring support further reduce the perceived value, making it hard to defend the cost compared to competitors in the same category. Ownership also reveals subtle drawbacks that chip away at the overall experience. Weight is significant, making city riding and low-speed maneuvers challenging. Overall, the Harley-Davidson Pan America asks buyers to spend top-tier dollars for an adventure bike that feels inconsistent in performance and comfort, solidifying its place as one of the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals currently available. Number 7. Triumph Bonneville Bobber. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber is currently one of the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in the American market. Its retro styling and single-seat silhouette make it look like a timeless classic, but the reality is that the experience does not match the premium price. Many buyers are drawn in by the name and the design, yet once they evaluate ride comfort, features, and daily usability, it becomes clear that the value proposition is weak. Cost is a major factor in why this bike struggles as a deal. Prices often sit near $15,000, and with dealer fees and common optional accessories, the final tally climbs even higher. At this level, buyers expect a mix of performance, comfort, and modern conveniences, but the Bobber delivers more style than substance. Suspension is firm, braking feels adequate but not exceptional, and long rides reveal the bike's limits in comfort and practicality. Ownership also highlights why the bike fails to justify its high price. Limited storage, a low seat, and a weight that makes parking and slow maneuvers tricky all contribute to a riding experience that is narrower in scope than the dollars spent would suggest. Overall, the Triumph Bonneville Bobber demands premium money for a motorcycle that emphasizes style over performance and comfort, making it one of the least worthwhile purchases for riders looking for strong value in today's market. Number 6. Indian Challenger. The Indian Challenger ranks among the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals currently available in the United States. It presents itself as a full touring machine with muscular styling and a large presence on the road, but the reality often falls short of expectations. Many buyers are attracted to the brand and the idea of a high-performance cruiser, yet when evaluating comfort, features, and practicality, the cost feels inflated compared to what the bike actually delivers. Money makes the problem clear. Prices for the Challenger hover around $20,000, And with dealer fees and common options, the final purchase often climbs even higher. At that level, riders expect unmatched comfort, cutting-edge tech, and a ride that feels effortless on highways and long tour. Beyond the price, ownership reveals other compromises. Fuel efficiency is modest, maintenance can be costly, and the sheer size of the motorcycle limits usability for everyday riding. Overall, the Indian Challenger asks riders to spend top-tier dollars for a motorcycle that often underdelivers in comfort, practicality, and usability. Number 5. Yamaha Bolt. The Yamaha Bolt is often praised for its minimalist cruiser style, yet it sits squarely among the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in today's market. Its compact design and blacked-out aesthetic attract riders who want a simple, aggressive look, but the reality is that the bike delivers very little beyond style. For the dollars asked, the overall package feels underwhelming, leaving buyers questioning why they are paying so much for a basic riding experience. Pricing is where the Bolt struggles the most. Many examples are listed around $9,000, and when dealer fees and optional accessories are added, the total cost rises significantly. At this level, riders can find other motorcycles that offer stronger performance, better suspension, and more modern features, making the Bolt a poor value proposition. Even fuel efficiency and reliability, usually strong points for the brand, are not enough to offset the sense of overpricing. The riding experience also highlights the bike's limitations. Comfort is modest, suspension is firm, and long highway rides can be tiring. While it performs well in short city commutes, the narrow appeal means that many owners feel the bike is more of a weekend toy than a practical long-term choice. Overall, the Yamaha Bolt asks buyers to pay near premium dollars for a motorcycle that delivers minimal features and comfort, making it one of the most overpriced motorcycles with the worst deals in the United States right now. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster is often marketed as a modern, lighter take on the classic Harley formula, but right now it stands as one of the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in the USA. On the showroom floor, it looks sharp and compact, yet once the price is considered, the value starts to fall apart quickly. Buyers are paying a premium for a smaller, simpler motorcycle that does not feel fully justified by its overall presence or everyday usefulness. The biggest concern is how much is being asked for what is essentially an entry-level feeling bike with a premium badge. Many Nightster listings sit close to $13,000, and once dealer fees and setup costs are added, the out-the-door figure pushes even higher. At that price, expectations are naturally high, but the ride quality, comfort, and feature set feel restrained rather than generous. It often feels like corners were cut to hit a styling goal, not to deliver strong value. Living with the Nightster also exposes its limitations. The compact size works in city riding, but highway comfort is average, and longer rides quickly highlight the firm ride and limited wind protection. Customization is heavily pushed, which means owners are expected to spend even more money just to make the bike suit their needs. Overall, the Harley-Davidson Nightster asks for serious dollars while delivering a riding experience that feels narrow and overpriced, making it one of the weakest value options in the current Harley lineup. Number 3. Triumph Rocket 3. The Triumph Rocket 3 sits high on the list of the most overpriced motorcycles with the worst deals right now, mainly because its asking price is far out of line with how most riders actually use it. It has an intimidating presence and a reputation that grabs attention, but ownership quickly reveals how narrow its appeal really is. For many buyers, the size and weight turn everyday riding into a chore rather than something enjoyable, which makes the high cost even harder to justify. Price is the biggest red flag. Many Rocket 3 listings sit close to $20,000, and once dealer charges and common extras are included, buyers often cross that mark without much effort. At that level, riders expect comfort, flexibility, and strong long-distance usability. Instead, the Rocket 3 feels excessive for city riding, awkward in tight spaces, and tiring over longer distances. The real issue is value for money. The Rocket 3 feels built to impress on paper and in short rides, but it struggles to fit into real-world American riding needs. Overall, the Triumph Rocket 3 demands a huge financial commitment for a motorcycle that delivers limited real-world value. And in the current market, that imbalance firmly places it among the worst deals available today. Number 2, Indian Chief. The Indian Chief is positioned as a premium American cruiser, but right now it clearly ranks among the most overpriced motorcycles with some of the worst deals in the United States. On the surface, it looks solid and traditional, yet once pricing enters the discussion, the value gap becomes impossible to ignore. Dealers lean heavily on heritage and visual presence, while the actual ownership experience struggles to justify the money being asked. The biggest issue is how expensive the Chief has become for what it offers. Many listings sit close to $18,000, and after dealer fees and setup charges, buyers often pay far more than expected. At this level, riders expect a motorcycle that feels complete straight from the showroom. Instead, several comfort and convenience elements feel basic, pushing owners toward extra spending just to make the bike comfortable for longer rides. Daily usability also works against the Chief. The weight is noticeable at low speeds, making city riding and parking more demanding than it should be. Ride comfort is acceptable for short trips, but longer highway miles expose limitations that should not exist at this price point. Overall, the Indian Chief asks for high-end dollars while delivering a riding experience that feels overpriced and incomplete, which is exactly why it earns the second spot among the worst motorcycle deals available right now. Number 1, Harley-Davidson Road Glide. The Harley-Davidson Road Glide takes the top spot as one of the most overpriced motorcycles with the worst deals right now. It is often presented as the ultimate long-distance cruiser, but the price attached to it has climbed far beyond what the average buyer actually gets in return. The aggressive fairing and road presence do attract attention, yet once the excitement fades, the value problem becomes impossible to ignore. The biggest issue is the sheer amount of money involved. Many Road Glide listings sit well above $25,000, and once dealer markups, freight, and setup charges are added, the final cost can move even higher. For that kind of cash, buyers expect perfection across comfort, ride quality, and long-term reliability. Instead, much of what makes the bike truly comfortable or usable for touring is locked behind expensive factory options or aftermarket upgrades, pushing ownership costs even further. Living with the Road Glide also exposes practical downsides. The size and weight make low-speed riding, parking, and city traffic stressful rather than enjoyable. Overall, the Harley-Davidson Road Glide demands luxury-level dollars while delivering an experience that feels overpriced and option-dependent. And that imbalance is exactly why it stands as the number 1 worst motorcycle deal available right now. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.